What a wonderful Wednesday it is. Welcome, everyone. Today, looks can be deceiving. This is why Neville says to deny the senses. What does it mean that looks can be deceiving? Let's say you've been doing something, you've been focused on where you say you're going and what you are creating in your life. And at every turn, you see an obstacle. Huh? Every turn, something is just awry. And you think, oh my God, how could this possibly be happening? I'm doing everything right, aren't I? This is why looks can be deceiving. When you have planted your seed, okay, and you are focused and you water your garden and you weed and you do everything, right? What does scripture say? Having done everything, just stand. Just stand in that knowledge that you've done everything, even though it just looks that way. Because it looks that way doesn't mean that it is. Especially when, and I'm talking about things going in the quote unquote opposite direction. Because if they're going the way you say they're going, because that's the way you are creating, well, then you wouldn't think anything of it. But if you are doing something and it looks like, for instance, you didn't get the promotion, and then what do we tend to do as people? We tend to say, oh, well, perhaps that wasn't God's will. Or, perhaps it's not yet my time. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. These are the things that come to mind. But I want us to always practice going to the law first instead of going to the law afterwards to fix a problem. We don't use the law to fix problems, use the law to create solutions. It's always easier to create a solution than just hindsight all the time. So, how do we get there? If you are looking at this situation and you know you've done everything that you're supposed to do, how do you know you've done everything? Did you know what you wanted to create? Did you see it in your mind's eye? Mm-hmm. Did you project it outward? Which means that you plant the seed from your conscious to your subconscious mind. You just sat there for a moment and said, huh, this is what I'm creating right now. And you see it. You have that image that you're going to recreate. Okay, well, then you've done all of that. Oh, but what if you still didn't get it? What are you going to do? Right. You hold fast. That is what you do. To what? The fact that you've planted the seed and you must reap what you have sown. That is what you hold fast to. Of course, you may have a thought that says, I don't know, but I don't know. But you hold fast. Hold fast to the fact that you said, this is what I'm creating, and you were clear about it. Why? Because things change. They sure do. Why do they change? Why can they change? Because everybody plays their part. Everybody plays their part. So it seems like, well, you didn't get the promotion, you didn't get this, you didn't get that. But you go about your way and you reinforce what it is you know that you've done. Because either an email comes, a call comes, a letter, something happens. The other day, she was given an apology that says, oh no, I'm sorry, we uh, sent you the wrong information. You're actually going where it is. And that's what she had wanted. And now this morning, it looked like the promotion wasn't there. But then, as if by coincidence, there it was. So we don't give up because things appear to not be working in our favor. You don't give up. You may retreat to your corner for a moment. The bell dings. You may retreat to your corner, yes, to reassess your situation, get a drink of water, and reinforce what you said you know. And when you come out of the corner, you come out swinging. That's what we do. Always turn towards the law first. It does not matter what the situation is. You hold the line. This is what we do. Because even though it may look as if it's never going to pan out, you see, if we entertain thoughts contrary to what we planted to recreate, what are you doing? It's like going out to your garden and saying, well, these rose bushes are really beautiful, but I'm going to put some dandelions in the mix. And you go and you dig a hole and you put dandelions in the mix. Why? Because you're worried? You go back to what you've planted and you look at it and you say, okay, what did I do? I was clear. This, and this. Why? Because when you do that, you keep yourself polarized in the direction of where you say you want to go and what you want it to be doing. And you do the things. You do the things that you say, okay, these are the actions that this kind of thing would do these actions. If it's a manager, what does a manager do? They lead themselves. Oh, we think we lead other people, do we? We lead ourselves. You have to be the example. This is why when you hear things like, oh, are you good at time management? How are you going to manage time? You can manage you, though, thereby making it look like you manage time. If you are organized, you understand. So you start being more organized. You just lean into what it is you say. This is where I'm going, and these are the things I'm doing. And that is where you stay polarized. And when you are polarized in the direction of where you say you're going, because that's what you're recreating, what is the outcome? Well, when you know the cause, you can predict the effect. So the outcome can only be to reap what you have sown. Yes, it is natural for one to become discouraged. We're human after all. It is natural to say, oh my God, did I do it right? How come it's never working out? Oh, that's natural. But when you catch it, you say, natural though you may be, I still planted this seed and I still expect this harvest. Because the same way I do it in the backyard is the same way I'm doing it in my mind. And that's how you talk yourself back into where you say you're going to be. That is what you do. This is why I tell you, the longer you sit there and you complain, why you magnify the problem. Why would you magnify the problem? Because you're polarized in the direction of the problem. And that's all you can see. And because it is all you can see, just like Laban and the sheep, all they saw were spots. And so what did they reproduce? Spots. So whatever it is you're looking at, you know this, if you drive or if you're driven anywhere, wherever your eyes are focused, that's where you're going. So you see, it's okay to say, why? Sure it is. But remember, the longer you stay at why, remember that why with the problem has way more momentum because you've been looking there for so long. So naturally, remember, tones of reality. It just happens naturally. So, because you've been focused in that direction naturally for so long, well, you tend to bring about those things. That's why you don't stay in complaining. You don't stay in looking at the problem. Why? Because looks are deceiving. Oh, so I'm supposed to be delusional? I'm supposed to just know this thing and just stay there like I'm crazy, like I'm some kind of fool? Well, if you know you planted the seeds, are you a fool? Well, I'm sure the bamboo farmer, 4 years watering an empty field. Oh, but why should it take that long? It is irrelevant how long it takes. The moment you stop and you look at your watch and you say, are we there yet? Are you pointed in the direction of where you say you're going? Or are you looking back? Hmm. You see, I'm not saying to be crazy and delusional. I'm asking you, what did you do? If you know that you've done the thing, are you going to question you? Or are you going to take confidence in knowing, look, I did this. I said this is what I'm doing. And every day I get up, and that person that I said I'm becoming, they do this. You say you want to have more confidence. You say you want to be a leader. Well, then you have to get up and create the habits of a leader. Well, I don't know what a leader does. Well, then you should go back to the drawing board and look at a leader. Who do you think is a good leader? Then look at what they do. Look at where their mind is. But you see what gets us? We want to look at somebody else and compare and say, well, look, they're so much better than me. You don't have time for that. Remember, it only looks a particular way. What do you know? Remember, we go with facts. What are the facts? I planted this seed and I nurture it every day. How do we nurture? We visualize. Well, do I have to visualize, Angela? Well, how else do you know? Whether you smelt your favorite fragrance and you said, "Oh, I'd like to get that." And so you spritz some on. Did you not visualize? The moment you said, "Oh, I'd like that," you visualized. Oh, indeed, you did. Well, how do you know? A funny thing about that scripture, Cyber, what does it say? The moment you've thought about that thing in your mind, allegedly, you sinned. It's not that you sinned, yeah? It's that the minute you saw it in your mind, you set the gears in motion to bring it about. That is what it means. Cyber, if you know the scripture, drop it in the chat and let me know. I'm sure you do. Apple, one of you will know for sure. But you get what I'm saying to you. We always visualize. So when things appear, then they appear to not be going your way. Go back for a moment. Did you plant the seed? Check. Do you recognize what you're doing on a daily basis? Are you planting weeds? Or are you plucking them out? Hmm? And if you're doing all those things, well, then hold the line. How important is that thing to you? Not important in the sense of, oh my God, if I don't have it, my life will be over. That's desperate. That's not important. Those are two different things. When you say, I planted this, and this is how I know I have to reap it, I'm going to reap it. So I'm going to follow these quote unquote coincidences or synchronicities along the bridge of incidents, right? You stay the line. Because along the path in the direction that you say you're going in, of course, you're going to encounter people and things that do what? They bring their pieces of the puzzle and they play their role. But I say to you that whoever looks at a woman to lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. You see, we look at that as, oh my God, I'm a bad person. No, whosoever looks. What happened? You had an image, you saw something, you saw something. Hmm? You saw it. So then you've committed. How do you know you've committed? It moves you. That's why lust is used. Because you and I both know that if you lust, something moves, does it not? You see, we want to look at scripture and because if we look at it through the lens of fear, we don't understand. We look at it through the lens of fear, we judge, right? You know as well as I know that if you have self respect and you have eyes, you see somebody handsome, you see somebody beautiful. Oh, wow. You're not blind. You can see it, right? And you move on. That's it. That's it. But this is why this scripture is there. And it says to you, you look at it, you see it, and it moves you. You have started to create it. That's what that is. Thank you, Cyber. Yeah, boy, I see. Yes. Okay, let's take a quick moment to welcome everybody into the space this lovely morning. Jeff, darling, Love Troll, Roo Roo, and oh, Miss Tiara. It's been a minute, hasn't it? But I see you, darling. Welcome. Yes. Fanbase, who's here? Zola, Yolanda, Matthias, Smoking. KZ, Miss McQueen, Flo Smiles, Summer Rose. Hey, hey, Jay and Beautiful, and, uh, well, I don't see your name, sweetie. Uh, so R is what we'll call you because that's the first letter there that I see, but I don't see the rest of your name. But I see you. Welcome to the space, my beautiful friends here on Fanbase. And Facebook, I know Indy's there. And YouTube, who's here? Iapo, Cyber, Cynthia and Olivia, Sherelle, Andrea, darling, Ruby, Walter, Queen Red Bill, Sonia, David, Anot, Anot, I see you. Well, I don't see my Empress Ella or Agnieszka, but I, and Synovia, Beauty Queen Onika, I don't see Jay, I don't see you either, but hey, a replay gang. So, what do we say here? The same principle. A person can focus on the wrong, though, and things seem like they're going fine. Then, boom, it suddenly goes very sideways. But this is the thing with knowing oneself, right? When you know a thing, this is why we have to. There's that line between delusional and actually planting your seeds. How do you know the difference? You see the desperation. You see that? Oh, I must. Desperation, fear. You've got to be able to look at it and see what it is. Is it fear or are you creating deliberately? You've got to be able to distinguish those two things. And you will, because they don't feel the same in your body. The correspondence as within, so without. The thing inside creates its own thing in the body because it has to correspond. Um, the same principle for the positive. Things may seem to be going all wrong, but you continue to focus on the right, and boom, it suddenly lines up. Yes, of course. Right? Yes, Iapo, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And the evidence of things not yet seen. Where? On the outside. They're not out there yet. as we call it in the 3D, in the manifestation world. It's not out there yet. But where is the evidence? In your mind. The evidence is there. The minute you have shaped that image in your mind, there is the evidence. The evidence of what you are recreating. Shea butter, I see you. Yep, oh yes. The ability to call those things that are not as though they were, and they become. Emanon. Um, Beautiful question. Because I work from home, do you feel like you feel like a lack of being out in the world prevents the bridge of incidents from unfolding? No. I do have to go outside. I do go to the library. I do go other places. Many things happen. There's emails, there's phone calls. We are interconnected in many ways. It seems like, ooh, out of the blue, right? But it isn't. That's why I say things may look a particular way because looks can be deceiving. Any magician worth his salt will have you seeing something that isn't there or having you not see something that is there. But then that means, what is it that you know? That's why you always stick with law. Because somebody also asked that question. But what if I can't stay positive? What if my thoughts tend to lean towards the negative? Well, there's something called rhythm. Yes, an ebb and a flow. You're not happy all day, every day. You're not up all day, every day. You're not down all day, every day either. But there is one constant. And what is that? What you know, law. That is what it is. So no, you don't have to be swinging from the branches. We're not Tarzan. We're not Tarzan. You don't have to swing all day. You have to rest. But there is a constant. And what is that constant? The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation, as within, so without, as above, so below. Everything vibrates between two poles, polarity, a swing to and fro, creating a rhythm, an ebb and a flow. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause, a projection of your will or intention, masculine, giving life, giving form, feminine. Everything that we are using, whether computers, the chairs on which we sit, the homes in which we live, etc., started as a thought in someone's head. But that's exactly the point. You see, I don't see Bree this morning. But if you know anything about Bree, my sweet Bree, she is really the cutest. She just made this baby outfit for her niece. And if you watch what she does, she takes it apart, right? She took it apart and she decided, look, I'm gonna make this, and this. And so she's touching it because I remember a while ago she had said, but what if she doesn't have a clear image? What if she doesn't have a clear image? Right? The very fact that she took it apart, right? And she's touching it and she's moving it, she's bringing that image together. And when it finally clicks, that's what she recreates. But for her, because she's not just tactile, she doesn't just touch a thing, she sees it. And the moment she sees it, she's like, oh, well, that would look good with, oh, that would look good with this. Oh, you see? And then she has to touch it. And she moves it around until it takes shape and bam, she sits there and listen, I watch this stuff that she posts on TikTok and I'm like, how did you reimagine that? Like I never would have put that together. But that's not my gift, right? She has the ability to see and touch, and that's how she brings things to life. So she can't look at it and go, ugh, well, that's not for me. Oh, I can't see it. How come it's not working out? Nah, she'll take a break though, because that's what you do. The moment you find yourself becoming agitated about something that you've planted, you take a moment and you breathe. Why? I've given you this image before. If you are that little kid in your galoshes, your little rubber boots, and you're playing in the puddle, and you're jumping up and splashing, right? You can't see your face in that water because it's muddy. But if you stop moving, if you stand still and just breathe, all the sediment, the particles will fall to the bottom. They'll fall to the bottom and the water clears up. And when the water clears up, you can see your reflection in it. See? That is what you do. You don't keep jumping and splashing in the pool and saying, I can't see. That's what we do, isn't it? Because it doesn't look as if it's going your way. So long as you know you planted the seed, what do you know about planted seeds? Oh, they grow, do they? Yes. And they bring forth a harvest? Yes. So did you plant it? Then carry on. Remind yourself that you planted it. Remind yourself of what the law says. That's how you keep yourself focused or polarized in the direction you say you want to go in. That is what you do. Mm. Yes, Andrew, we are part of the bridge of incidents. Yes, an unction. You sound like you're from the islands now. You get an unction, do you? That's a Caribbean word. The spirit moves you. Yes, you'll get a feeling, a little spidey sense tingling. Say, hey, do this. Oh, do that. I used to like that game, Final Fantasy, and the little helper would always go, hey. When there was something that you missed, or if they were telling you something, it would say, hey. That was the cutest little sound I ever heard. But that's what your intuition does. It'll nudge you a little bit. That's why if you stop moving and the muddy waters begin to settle and you see your reflection, that's what will help you. That's why I say, no, you don't. Yes, Legend of Zelda. I don't know. Yes, that's what it is. Thank you, Cyber. But that's what it is. You don't always have to be positive with it. You just need to know what you know. Because sometimes you want to stomp your foot and go, why you? Of course. But what do you know? Because what you know can pull you from the depths of anywhere. It can reinvigorate you when you begin to recite what you know. That's my point. So it doesn't matter how dark you think it is. You recite the law, the light goes on. You're invigorated. David. Mm, mm. Iapo says, one thing taught to pilots is to pay attention to the control panel. Never fly just based upon how they feel. They could be upside down or in a nosedive and not know it. Oh, feelings can deceive. Yeah, you know why? People say, well, Angela, I feel so useless. I feel like, and then what do? They allow that feeling to govern them, to make them do things. That's what he's saying. And we think, right, that the law is just this some far-fetched thing, when in actuality it happens around you every single day. The pilot always has to know what that panel says. Why? But that's why I say it always makes room for intuition. Intuition is something completely different. And I will always tell this story because of the way she told it and the conviction with which she said it. Right? She was in her garage, and somebody she'd known for a little bit came in there and accosted her. I'll say it with that word, right? And she said, Angela, this peace came over me and something said, grab this. And of course, she was like, huh? But the sensation was so overwhelming, but in a peaceful way, urgently. So she grabbed that object and beat him with it. You understand? But had she stayed jumping in the water and panicked, which is what we always do because we're human, right? But you see the intuition, that still small voice? Oh, it spoke. It was still a whisper, but it spoke in such a way. That's how come you know when your intuition speaks. It speaks in such a way that it is the best way you can say is it soothes. Even though you are in the midst of something, it still soothes. I don't know how it does it. Override everything. But that's how it works for intuition. So that's why intuition is different. When that comes, it comes. Right? This is why meditation or sitting quietly helps you to learn that still small voice. It helps you to learn that sensation from it. So that when you say, if you sit there and you say, uh, you know, I don't know. I know I'm fretting. I'm so worried, What do you think I should do here? What is the best step? What I've done everything I can. And I'm still not quite sure. What do I do here? And you sit there and you say that. Because polarity, right? Where are you now? What are you doing? Honesty with self. And then, as if out of the blue, you get an unction. You get an idea. You get something that moves you continually in the direction you say you want to go. And that is why the look can be deceiving. Because the look brings up the emotion, and we want to go by emotion. Whereas if you interpret the emotion, if you're looking at it, you go, oh my God, I feel like everything is upside down. What did you just say? You feel? Okay. What do I know though? What is this telling me? Is it telling me I'm scared? Is it telling me I'm fretting and I'm worrying? Where's my intuition in this situation? As opposed to what? I feel like this is never going to work out. I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel. And then you walk away and you leave your harvest. And things die for want of attention. Hmm? Forget to water that house plant. You didn't give it any attention. I wonder. I wonder what happens to it. Yes. Attention. Your focus. Your energy. That gives life. So even though the look may be a little off, what is it that you know? Go back to that. Go back to that. Isn't that what happened to Elizabeth? When she laughed and said, me? Aren't I 90, 99, or 90 years old and you telling me I'm pregnant? I can just imagine. And she laughed. She's like, sure. Have you seen the shape of my uterus? I am 90 years old. Oh, yes. Oh, it looked impossible. That's what that story is. It looks impossible. But because it looks impossible, what can make it possible? The fact that you know what you want makes it possible. The image is there, so it can be recreated from the inside out. Any engineer any architect, any designer, any writer, any writer. Hmm? You see, it's again, I understand and I know. Glass house, okay? I'm living in a glass house. So I do these things too. If you're going to talk to yourself, make it a good conversation. You don't give in to the, oh my God, I can't do this. I've tried for so many years. We don't try to breathe, we breathe every day until we don't. But we breathe every single day. So when you get up and you do the new behavior, that confirms you are the new man. You can't stop doing the new behavior. You can't just, if you stop doing the new behavior, remember, nothing stands still. So if you're not doing the new, what are you doing? The old, aren't you? So then you remain the same. And when we remain the same, then we have the audacity to say, why is nothing changing in my life? Because you keep doing the same thing. But I don't know, Angela, how I'm supposed to just keep doing it blindly. You're not doing it blindly. You said you're a confident person. Confident people don't whimper in the corner. They may whisper in the corner because they're hyping themselves up, but they don't see themselves as above or beneath anyone. They see themselves as the best version of themselves. That's what they do. So, how can you say, I am confident, yet you don't behave as one who is? Because the situation doesn't look the way you want it to look. Looks are deceiving. But you know what's never going to deceive you? The law. It won't, because that's not its aim. Its aim is to govern creation, to make sure that creation continues. I know Neville said creation is done, but you have to understand what he means by that. He means the house is built already. Don't we have plans for houses? Aren't there concepts and designs for cars? Yes. So it's done. However, but creation itself, everything moves. Everything moves. So we are constantly creating. So if you go to the past, the thing has been created because we are continually creating. So you see, today is not the day, okay? Today is not the day to fret and say, oh, alas and alack. No, today is the day to say, hey, what do I know? What do I know? That's what today is. What do I know? Hmm. And then you begin to tell yourself what you know. Oh, but Angela, I don't know, man, because you're not the one under the bridge. What did I tell you last time about being under the bridge? You have to know why you're under the bridge in the first place. Not because you're a bad person. This has nothing to do with good or bad. You want to get out from under the bridge? Well, then, polarity. Where are you now and what are you doing? Honesty with self is required. And listen, you'll get out from under that bridge in no time. Oh, but everything is designed to oppress me. Everything bends to the law. So it doesn't matter what you think is there to oppress you. Looks are deceiving. Oh, sure, it looks like it's oppressive. But what do you know? If you apply the law, you can lift yourself from under anything. Well, don't take my word for it. Apply it. Align with it. How do you align with the law so that you can not be governed by what you see? Remember Samson. Oh, sure, he lost his eyesight, didn't he? He was walking somewhere and it just fell out of his pocket. Now, but he did lose his sight. But what did he know? He knew he was a strong man, and that's how come he brought that temple down. He didn't rely on his vision. You don't need vision. You need muscles. You need the strength. And that's what he knew he had. So what do you know? You've got muscles that you can't even see. Mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, causation, and gender. Those are your muscles. Use them. They're not just there to make you look good. They are functional, not just aesthetic. How do you use rhythm, ebb and flow? You know. What are you going to do? Work all day? No, you have to rest. Because it is in the rest and digest state that you fuel and strengthen the body. So what? You can flow. But if you don't ebb, you cannot flow. Cause and effect. Because you rest, you can flow. Yeah, this is why we hear everything in moderation. What do you think that means? Yeah, can't drink all day, can't eat all day, can't sleep all day. Yes, there's an ebb and there is a flow. And remember, though, that law of vibration, everything moves, even when you are in the ebb. See, when things appear to look a particular way, sure, you're in the ebb. What are you going to do in the ebb? Reinforce the self. Why? Because you're going to have to flow. So, how are you going to flow? Well, that depends on how you reinforce yourself. If you reinforce yourself with, girl, you got this. Oh, you can do it. What's the law tell you? Well, if it's inside of me, I planted that seed, and the only thing I can only reap what I have sown. If that is how you reinforce yourself, well, when you begin to flow, you're going to flow with confidence. You'll flow with power. You will flow with what? Courage. Ah, but if you sit there and go, I don't know if I can do this. The world is against me. Mm-hmm. Yes. How you gonna flow? Well, you already know. Ah, there's none so blind as they that won't see. Ah, Jonathan Swift. Hmm. You won't see, will you? Ah. See that part right there? What are you willfully blinding yourself towards? And it's not that you're doing it because I see that thing there and I'm just gonna pretend that it isn't. No, there's a habit that you're doing that blinds the eye. Beautiful question, Andrea. This is an exercise for all of us right now. Let's do it together. Where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst. First step, you know what you want. Andrea says, I'm in need of $2,600. How do I recreate this money for the thing I need it for? What you need it for is irrelevant. The image is there, $2,600. That's what you need. Cynthia had mentioned, she said, well, Angela, if we all focus on the same thing, can we bring it about faster for everybody? Oh, so what are we going to do now? We're going to practice. Here's how we are going to practice this thing for $2,600 for our beautiful Andrea. The thing that would happen naturally. The thing that would happen naturally is me getting on this mic and saying, oh my God, did y'all hear what Andrea just did? She got the money. And here's how it came in. That's the thing that would happen most naturally. We'd hear about it together because she would write it in the chat. That's what she would do naturally. So now, if you hear Or if you see, depending on what your strongest sense is, go with that. I know I hear, so I'll be hearing myself say, well, I don't know if I should be surprised, but I'll throw you some confetti. I'll act surprised, but I knew you would get it. I knew it wasn't going to be a problem anyway. Or I would say something like, really? Wink, wink, pretend surprise, because I know myself. How do you want to hear her message? How do you want to hear about her success? Are you visual? You're going to see it in the chat? Then that is the image that we all hold. Hearing her success, knowing that it is there. We're not waiting for it. It's already done. So this is how now we will put our mental faculties together and we hold just like at the Tower of Babylon, right? The Tower of Babel. We have one focus. And that focus is simply, oh my God, I can't believe it. Wow. That hearing, that seeing. So there's 13 of you here on YouTube. There's 12 of you on Fanbase. There's 2 of you on Twitter. And there's Facebook. Take a moment right now and either hear her success or see it in the chat. Just take a moment. Let it go. Many seeds have been planted. So now, your only job, beautiful Andrea, is this. Pay attention. To what? Anything could happen. It has to unfold naturally. So don't go looking for it, because what are you looking for? It'll come, because that's its job. The harvest always comes. Oh, hold on. Cyber. That's when we would ding the bowl as well. So we're going to ding the bowl, yeah? We're just going to ding the bowl and allow ourselves to just be soothed by it and know that it is done. Even for those of you who may be like, oh, I got to see this. I want to be here for this. When I hear about it, even that is pointed in the right direction. It is anticipation. It is, oh, I don't know if that's going to work, but I want to be here to see it. Oh, that's how you contributed. There you have it. Right? You see, oh, wait, wrong hand. Hold on. There. See? Well, that's it. Well, that's all you're recreating. The thing is already done. So you don't focus on what it's for. It's irrelevant what it's for. Is that what you want to recreate? Then just recreate that. You see, because what it's for, you get caught up in the feelings, right? Mm. Iapo says, he goes, you're right. I can't eat all day or sleep all day or be lazy all day. Trust me, I've tried. Oh, Iapo. That's the thing. Oh, Queen Red Pill. I'm just going to read what she says here. When I control myself, everything else falls into. But of course, everything would fall into place because you are order itself. When you align with law, you become ordered. Yes? It's a beautiful thing. Apple says, thank you for explaining the difference between feelings and instincts because it is actually possible to feel everything is wrong, but your instincts are saying it's right. Yes, that intuition, that is just that still small voice. You know exactly what I'm talking about. We all have it and we've all experienced it. You can't argue with me on that. That still small voice. Either you will ask yourself, man, why didn't I listen? Or you'll say, I'm glad I listened. But either way, we've experienced the still small voice. That's what yes, take captive every thought. But of course, why is that? You see, the scripture, we're so afraid of scripture, aren't we? Oh no, the Bible. Every holy book has the essence of the law within it. It says to do what? Take every thought captive. Why? It's a mental thing. The universe is a mental creation. Hmm, we'll get there. Queen Red Pill says, hit the like button for those of you on YouTube. So, does that make sense? Oh, Cyber, thank you. You see, I sit corrected. He says, nah, it's not coming. It's already been paid. You are in Barbados. You see it? It is like one of the most beautiful things that you will come across. All things come from it. The law. It is finished. Yeah. The law lifts you up every day. As I said, if you feel as if you're, way down there, remember the law, recite the law. And every time you say it, whichever one comes to mind, mentalism, the all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. Correspondence as within, so without, as above, so below. Vibration, everything moves. Between two what? Polarity, two poles. See, this is why we think that there's more than one thing. What's moving between the two poles? One thing, you. So it's not dual. You're just going from where you are to where you want to be. You're not doing, you're one person. This is why we think, oh no, there's more than one. No, there's just one. Just one moving through the poles. And the way you move through the poles creates a rhythm, an ebb, and a flow. Well, causation, every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. A projection, which is masculine, a projection of your intention, of your will into your where? Feminine subconscious mind. And so now when you get the experience back, that is the law of gender. So whichever one of those you want to remember, I say remember them all because really there's only just one. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. And the other things are telling you how it does. What? How it creates. It creates mentally. So do we. How do you know? Well, as above, so below. You have a mind. I have a mind. This mind is below. So there must be a mind above. So today, things may appear to be a particular way. So long as you know what seeds you have planted, so long as you know what seeds you've planted, and you say, I'm good, I know what I did, I see the image clear as day, I visualized, I heard, whatever, you know. So now what are you doing? You're just following the unctions, following the inclinations. So you're building a business? Okay. Well, then you'll know who to contact. You'll get an idea. Follow it because it will happen naturally. And if you feel yourself wanting to give up or throw in the towel, remember the law and it will resuscitate you. Yes. You use your efforts and your energy to remember the law so that the way is shown. You'll know which left, right, up, down. You'll know where to go. You'll know. And then you'll do it. Yes. But you have to be open for that. What do I mean by open? I mean, don't sit there in the corner and complain. Why not? Because you cannot get a solution from there. The minute you turn your mind from complaining, it's like the slot machine and it just starts spitting out the money. The ideas will be spat out like that. You're like, whoa, 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 hold on, slow your roll, man. I got to keep up. That's what happens. But again, I say, you don't judge yourself for complaining. Put it in perspective. You say, look, the only reason why I'm complaining right now is because I want things to change and I want them to change right now. Because I'm scared. What if it doesn't happen? Yeah, that's polarity. Because you're now saying where you are and what you're doing. And then polarity, you see, polarity, she's not going to keep you there complaining. She says, okay, that's good. That's good. Where do you want to be and what do you want to do? You see what she does to you? She turns your eye in the direction of where you say you want to be. That's what she does. Not because she cares. She doesn't care because she doesn't have feelings. I just call her she because, well, you know how it is. We like to give things a personality. But polarity will always turn your direction. Once you've said where you are and what you're doing, the next step is what? Well, where do you want to be? And what do you want to do? I'm going to tell it to you every day until you start doing it. And the more you do it, and the more you do it, oh Lord, it becomes what? Second nature. And you do it on autopilot. You don't even have to stop to think and do a technique. Oh, don't sweat the technique. Hey. Anyway, Queen Red Pill says she stays away from folks that complain or worry all the time. She said they make me sleepy. That's because they're sucking your energy out of you. But hey, I digress. Hey, Connie. Connie's in the building. Woo woo. She's part of the replay gang. Anyhow, I trust that these things make sense to you a little bit more today. So if you say, this is why they ask you if you are building a business, they ask you to do a business plan. And we look at a business plan and we go, oh my God, what do you mean? What's my executive statement? What's my vision statement, my mission statement? Do you know why they do that? Mentalism. Really? Yes. Listen, the law is everywhere. They want you to do that business plan. Why? So you get a clear image of what it is you are creating. So now, when you are ready to do your business plan, you don't go, oh, God, must I really? This is so much work. No. You know what it's doing? It is allowing you to become Michelangelo with your chisel and your mallet, and you shape David to perfection. That is what it is allowing you to do. Get a clear image because when the image is clear, bam, it is possible and you can recreate it. So the next time you hear somebody say, oh my God, a business plan, You can tell them, well, a business plan allows you to be very clear about what you're creating. Oh, see, this is why when you carve out your mission and vision statement, see how precise they end up being? How many times do you have to word it and shape it just to get it to do what you want it to do and say what you want it to say so that when somebody hears the name of your business, they know what you're about? Listen, the law is everywhere, and it's just simply a matter of perspective. So carve it out. Better work it out. That's what you do. Don't hate the work. The work is there. You still have to pump the pedal on the potter's wheel to get that vase or that mug or that bowl. You have to press the wheel, the pedal to turn the wheel. Work. So don't grudge the work. Understand the work. Put the work in perspective. You don't see Usain Bolt out here on the track going, oh God. Nah, he might not like the track, but he likes the finish line and the gold medal, so he does the track. He exercises and he works out. Mm-hmm. Because why? The thing that just what he is, right? Put it into perspective why you do what you do, which is a clear image. Mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. That is your word today. So even though it might look a particular way or feel a particular way, now you know the difference between your intuition and your feelings. Intuition, you can't even question it. It'll just hit you like bam, there it is. But the feelings, you're like, oh man, I don't know. I'm so wishy washy. Yeah, feelings. There's a difference. Ah, well, yes. Iapo says those who seek the most to control the lives of others tend to have zero control of their own. But actually, it makes a lot of sense. People who control themselves already have their hands full. But of course, but of course, he says, I know it is all I can do to keep my mind, spirit, and body in control. I don't have time to try to control what someone else is doing. Ah, now you understand what power is. The power over what? Yourself, your thoughts, your actions. And that's why you will know exactly what a person is doing and how they feel based upon what now? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And you won't take offense. Because the way that thing makes you feel that came out of their mouth, you're like, whoa, that's how they feel. Oh, snap. And that's how you'll know it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you, right? And it helps us to be gracious. Because if turmoil comes out of their mouth, or pain, or rage, or anger comes out of their mouth, that's what's going on inside. Remember the law of correspondence. So remember today, because the countdown has been initiated today at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is where we have to give an answer. Remember, we were supposed to look for polarity in our day. Did something happen? Was something projected that caused you to commit really hard to the left or really hard to the right? Now, when did you catch it? Did you catch it before it hit you? Or did it hit you and then you caught it? Or did it pass through and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I just let that to happen to myself? Today we'll talk about it. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Lance Scurv. That's the YouTube channel. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Why is that important? because it shows you where the law is being used. Somebody said the other day in a forum, oh, I just can't go on. I'm so tired of living. They literally speaking, they said that. And I so wanted to respond, but I did not. Because the way I wanted to respond was, so you're going to allow somebody else to use the law against you to bring about their own means, and you're not even going to put any effort to bring about your own means? The law is always on, people. And it's either you are using it deliberately or it is being used against you. And that's why we have that talk about current events. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, yes? It's not flesh and blood. There's no war going on outside. Oh no. It is a mental war. And so if you can learn to spot the projections, you can protect yourself and you can stop feeling beat up. This is really important, because if you look around, you'll see it. But that's why I tell you every day, memorize the law so that you can recognize the law and better utilize the law in your life. That's what will make you say, well, I'm in the world, but not of it. You understand? So that's what we do over there with Lance at 11 on Wednesdays. Current events and using the law. Where is the law? What's being used? Which one? And how do you counter? Yes, that's important to know, isn't it? And then we have law school. So if you want to learn the law, there's a link in my bio. And then on YouTube, the link is in the description on the link tree. And you click on that link tree and it says law school. You click on that and it'll take you to Patreon. It is $45 a month to learn the law. And there's 7 of them. Well, 1, but we say 7 because, well, easy for memorization. And also, if you find the work that I do here on this channel to be of a benefit to you and you would like to contribute, well, I have YouTube memberships. You can give $1 a month if you'd like. Anything to show appreciation. Yes, there's that option. Or you can make a donation via PayPal, but all of that is in the link tree. There's a little $sign in the link tree. That'll take you to PayPal because Canadians don't have Cash App. We just don't. Our government. But anyway, you feel me. Also, what we can do is we can share the video on YouTube, or we can share the replay on Twitter. Fanbase, we don't have that option just yet. But you can tell your friends about it, right? The algorithm, why is that important? Now, what does that sound like? The algorithm. It is law, is it not? The more you keep looking at a particular thing, what happens? You get more things that are suggested that are just like it. Uh-huh. And we think an algorithm is something that we just thought of. It is law. It is polarity. The more you are focused in a particular direction, that's what you'll see along the pathway. And that's why when we share this video and we like it and we comment, that's what happens. We're polarized there. And so then that polarization begins to have a rhythm. It gets shown more. And now it becomes a projection for other people who are looking for it. So you see, the law is everywhere. The law is everywhere. Where's the law with a donation? A seed is planted and it brings forth what? Fruit. It gives me the opportunity to keep staying here and sharing, and teaching the law so that we apply it. That's what it does. Right? Anywho, looks can be deceiving. You do not give up on you. You go back to the drawing board and you question yourself, have I made this image clear? this is what I'm recreating, and this is how that recreated thing behaves, then I will do those actions. Because at the end of the day, I must reap what I have sown. That is how you get past the things that look as if it is impossible. It is the image of a thing that makes it possible. And that, my beautiful friends, is the last of the gravy from this bowl. You've been so patient and gracious with me today. Thank you for your questions and your comments, and I will see you. Oh, snap! How did I almost forget? At 3 p.m. Eastern, also today, we are going to be talking about the number one or the biggest mistake that an empath makes. Oh dear, you want to be there for that, especially if you're an empath. You want to be there for that because being empathic is also governed by law. So we'll teach you the law so you can use it to hone your craft as an empath. Yes? Where do you find that information? See, on my YouTube channel, you click on live and it will give you the upcoming and you'll see it there. You can click on the notify me and it'll ding you when we go live at 3 p.m. Eastern, I do believe. Yes? Anywho, Sherelle, you're welcome. Queen Red Pill, Paul, Connie, Andrea, Cyber, Delroy, the better man. I didn't see you guys in here. Lenin meditation, how do I deal with intrusive negative thoughts? By keeping your mind inhale, exhale. Every time the thought comes, inhale, exhale. That's all you're doing. It's like a baby, Delroy. It's like a baby. If the baby wanders towards the stove, what are you going to do? You're going to beat the baby? You're going to kick it? No, because that would be inhumane, wouldn't it? So then why would you beat yourself up? All you do with that baby, your mind that wanders, pick it up and put it in front of its toys. Give it the focus because the mind is designed to think. You cannot turn that off because nothing stands still. It is a law of vibration. But you can put it where you want it. And the more you put it there, it will stay. Does that make sense, Delroy? And the better man, I see you, part of the replay gang. And I'm just shouting out everybody who was here, who've made themselves known in the chat. David and Emanon Shea Butter. I see you, baby. Cynthia and Olivia. Ruby, darling. Volder. Sonia. And Anod. All of you who made yourselves known in the chat this morning and for the replay gang, I see you all. I do. I see you all. Remember to like, share, subscribe. And Twitter, Love Troll and Ruru. I know Jeff is probably working. He'll come back. Countdown initiated. Fanbase. Who's here? Jay. Beautiful. Summer Rose. Triple. Flo Smiles. Smoking. Miss McQueen, KZ, Matthias, Yolanda, Zola. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your love on Fanbase. 5, 4, 3, 2, one love, one source. Cheryl, I'll see you soon. Twitter is closed. Fanbase is closed. So now, YouTube and Facebook, hey, hey, we'll talk soon, Queen Red Pill. Yes, my beautiful darling, yes. So I will see you all 11 a.m. Eastern for Lance, if you are available. If not, replay. Um, Shea Butter. Shea Butter, what? Shea Butter, why are you giving me the side eye? Oh, Denise. Hello. Hello, Denise. Oh, baby, you part of the replay gang. Of course, unless you've been here this whole time. Zola. But yes, we have two things today. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, where we see the law, and then we have that number one thing that empaths do that is so harmful to them. Oh, indeed. And that's at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's what we've got going on today for our lives. And it is really, truly a privilege to be here and share with you every day. It really is. Because the law is absolutely phenomenal. Look, you can't even, the words we have are so primitive when it comes to the law. Sometimes there aren't any words. Like that day, Mahalia Jackson she just sat down in the chair and she hummed because you couldn't do, she just, there were no words. Sometimes there are no words. But yet I find them for at least over an hour, don't I? Oh, snap. Anywho, sometimes there aren't any words to describe the law other than that's there aren't any, you know? Such beauty and unconditional love that the law is. But you see, we get caught up in our feelings and the way things look. At no point do you allow those things to overtake you. The law is many things. We call it a sickle in Barbados. It's a scythe, like a quarter moon shape, but it's a blade and it's sharp and it's how you harvest any kind of thing. You cut with it. It's a sharp blade shaped like a sickle, sickle cell, shaped like a quarter moon or a scythe. The law can be that to clear the way of anything that's blocking your path. It can be a light. The law takes on many shapes, but always that shape will do what? Clear your path, brighten your eye, elevate your mind, is what the law will do. Day in and day out, right? We're looking for love, aren't we? But love is right there in the law. A love that a love that surpasses all understanding, because we think love has to do with, oh my god, like he's so handsome, oh, or be like, oh well, she's lovely, isn't she? Right, we think that's what love is, companionship. No, freedom. The freedom to do what? Create. Create. So when you know that that is the ultimate love, now you can carve your relationship, your ideal relationship, in the same fashion. You know who you are and you know what you like. You don't focus on what you don't like, because that's not what you're creating, is it? No, you're building your dream. Dream lover, so I don't have to dream alone. That's what you're creating. The man or the woman of your dreams, the relationship of your dreams. Well, then who are you in the dream? That's what you're recreating. I don't know why I'm saying that this morning. I have no idea. It just came out. But whoever's still here, perhaps you need to know it. Oh, the lives? Let me see if I can. Hold on, let me hang on there. Let me see if I can do this. You just wait. Um Live. Do do do. Okay, the biggest mistake, let's see. We are going to share. I can copy that link and I'm going to go here and I'm going to go there into the chat. Okay, there's that one. Now let me go over to Lance. And then episode 3, share and copy. There's so if you click on them, it'll say notify. And so then click on the notify button. And there's one more, and I think that's tomorrow. We're going to be talking about addictions. Can the law free me from a shopping addiction? It can be any kind, but you can use the law of correspondence to take yourself from shopping to any other one, right? So let me copy that and put that link there. Shea Butter, if you have time or you're in a position to assist, can you wait? No, I should be able to do it. Hold on. Um, do 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 do. Um, go here. What am I doing? I'm. I don't know if I can go under comments yet. I was trying to post them under in the comment section so that people can have access to them, but I can only access live chat at the moment in my thingy. But does that make sense, y'alls? We have to get to that place where we create from, that ideal relationship, that ideal career, your dream job. You know, that's why everything is based on you, the self. Yes. Anywho, there are the links, and I will see you if you are available. If not, you can be part of the replay. You can submit a question too for any current event. You can slide into my DMs. So if you have a current event that's going on that's at the forefront of your mind, you can ask the question, well, where's the law in this situation? And I'll discuss it so you can catch it on the replay. Right? Anywho, my beautiful friends, that's it. I will see you soon. Much, much, much love. You guys just keep showing up. I'm saying bye, and then somebody else popped in. I see you. All right, my beautiful friends. I'm going to catch y'all